Hey everybody, Scott Kendall here with Outhouse IT. It's another Friday, so I'm taking a minute to record a video for everyone. And I wanted to touch base this week on a question we get all the time at Outhouse IT, and it relates to the company name, Outhouse IT. Every time our customers hear it, a new customer hears it, they chuckle a little. And I'm glad they do, because it gives us an opportunity to tell our customers about who we are and explain the story behind our name. So back in 1992, that's when I first started my own computer consulting company. At the time, I had a full-time job, but in my part-time days, in my evenings and weekends, I would assist local small businesses, usually family friends or friends of family friends that then became friends of friends of friends of family friends, as the referral business tends to go. And I was able to provide computer services, and this is back in the days of pre-Windows 95 even. We were running Windows 3.1 and often DOS-based Lotus 123 type applications. So we were able to help I was able to help a lot of small businesses with their IT needs. I actually took over a number of clientele from my father, who ran an IT consulting company or an IT computer service company previous to 1992, if you can imagine. This was his retirement gig. He got bored sitting at home and so decided to take his hobby of computer repairs on the road with him, and was doing some computer support. So from 1992 till about 2001, I ran a company called Computer Consulting by Scott Kendall. In 2001, I decided to get a little bit creative and formed a new company by the name of The Technology Coach. That name came to me through a discussion with a mutual networking friend, a marketing guy, and he said, what you really do is you're a technology coach. And the reason we came up with that name, he came up with that name, and I loved it, was that we were doing a lot of software training, Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook. We were teaching our customers how to use, at the time it was the Microsoft Office 97 and Microsoft Office 2000 versions of Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Outlook. And we were doing one-day training courses internationally, US and Canada, and I got to travel quite a bit. I saw 187 North American cities in just a little over 18 months. So it was absolutely fantastic. I've still got a number of collectible knickknacks that I got. I collected a lot of shot glasses, so I've got shot glasses from all over North America, and I love them. They're fantastic. But sometime around 2008, 2009, we were moving away from the training side and focusing more on the IT services. Now, the IT services is something we've been doing all along, but we found there was a lot of profitability, and I really enjoyed being in front of an audience, as many of you know me will attest to. The real plus was that we were able to take our existing clientele base and deliver, in addition to the training we were already delivering, we were able to provide IT services, computer repairs, computer support, and all of it sort of to the same sort of client base. So sometime around 2008, 2009, I started realizing that the technology coach didn't necessarily send the right sort of message to say to our clients that what we did was IT services, not just computer training. So we started racking our brains and looking for ideas, and the very first place I went, as many of us do when we're looking for ideas or to do some research, to Google. Let me tell you, in 2001, when all of there was a large fallout in IT, all of the existing IT guys either were downsized or correct sized, and ended up forming their own IT consulting company. Most of them didn't stick around very much, but they did tend to keep the website they registered. So if you go out there and do a Google search, you can look for websites that are available with IT or computer or IT services anywhere in the name, and it's impossible. It's impossible to find a good website name related to IT services, computer services, or anything else like it. And I didn't want to be just another name in the IT services bundle. There's companies out there called Outsource IT or My IT Outsource. That's really what we were focusing on, was finding a way to outsource small business IT needs without having to necessarily use the name outsource, because, as I say, it was so heavily taken on Google. If you don't believe me, take a minute now and type in Outsource IT. You'll find thousands and thousands of listings, and that just wasn't something we wanted to compete in. So I was talking to an IT client of ours. It was a law firm in Mississauga, and I asked the admin staff, who are typically the person we have the most communication with, I said, what is it about the IT services that we provide for you that make this a really good fit? I was trying to get the sorts of keywords out of this individual user that would allow us to target our market a little bit better. And she said, well, I used to work for a larger law firm. They had 6 or 8 lawyers, And we had an in-house IT department, and the in-house IT department would, and she continued speaking, but I have to be honest and say I kind of faded out because I heard that in-house IT department, and immediately a light bulb went off in my head, and I thought, in-house IT department. Well, everyone knows what that is. Everybody knows what the in-house IT department is. That's the guy down the hall who sits in the cubicle and keeps to himself and will sometimes come if your computer's broken, but not necessarily as quickly as you'd like, and doesn't necessarily answer the phone when you call that extension. And that's typical in a larger organization and can be really frustrating for users. When a larger organization like that moves, when a user like that moves from a larger organization to a smaller organization that might only have 1 or 2 lawyers, might only have 8, 10, maybe 15 staff, the type of services that they require tend to be different, and the immediacy for those services can differ quite a bit as well. So I was able to combine the concept of an in-house IT service department and an outsourced IT service department. I'm sure you see where I'm going with this, and we created Outhouse IT. It was the outsourced in-house IT service department. And at Outhouse IT, we provide outsourced IT services for small to mid-sized businesses that don't have the budget or necessarily need a full-time in-house IT department, but they do need to have someone reliable and capable who can be on call there when they need them and be able to take care of the IT for them. As that concept has evolved, and as we've moved towards what is now our service model, we provide our IT service clients with a flat fee IT service bundle, which means we charge a per computer or per user fee for all IT services. And in one of our videos next week, we'll talk about what the benefits are of a flat fee IT service as opposed to an hourly IT service. So there's the story of Outhouse IT, where the name came from, and we get the pun. We think it's hilarious too, and we're glad that everyone is able to get a couple of chuckles out of it. We enjoy it as well. So this is Scott Kendall, Outhouse IT, signing off. Have yourselves a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.